Hey. Alright guys, it's time to talk about the main key to happiness and absolute bliss in this life. And this requires a quite high level of awakening, but I'm sure that I'll be able to guide you in some direction so you can realize this yourself. So what I want to talk about is that you are everything or everyone. And before you shut this video off thinking that I'm gonna talk some nonsense about you are the trees, you are the air, and you are the water, don't worry, I'm not gonna bullshit you like almost all of these gurus or spiritual people do. They talk absolute horseshit, really, they do. Do not listen to that kind of stuff. What I actually want to talk about is that you are everything in the sense that we talk about people like killers, for example, which is this thing that nobody wants to talk about, and it's these people, killers, just put them in prison, or predators, similar, or pedophiles and such, and all kinds of stuff like that, but really everything. Everything you call anybody that is naturally in us. The thing though is that you are those people, and this is the thing that is pretty hard to realize for people. So you may think now, I've never killed anyone, or I've definitely not molested somebody, so that could not possibly be me, but actually it is, because you are capable of those things, because they are inherently in us. A difference between you and some killer is that you haven't done it yet, or simply you don't show it. And that's the difference between most of us, naturally speaking. We show certain things for certain reasons, usually for people to like us. That's the main reason. But the point here is that just because you don't show something, showing isn't being, bottom line. You understand? Showing is not being something. So just because you don't show it doesn't mean that you are that, or that you are something else, because we are all everything anyway. The difference is that we are not all pianists, for example, playing the piano, because pianos don't grow on the trees. They may be made out of trees, but that has nothing to do with nature, and nobody is by nature a pianist. That's something you learn, and that has nothing to do with who you are. That's how you act. That's a role you play in this system. And no spiritual real teachings, and no in history did that. That's only modern stuff. They teach you to do something or to not do something. Spiritual teachings are not about doing or not doing something, because that's teaching you to act. So when they say don't kill, which they do usually nowadays in religions, that's to teach you to act a certain way, to fit in, maybe something else. Well, you would definitely fit in some Christian gospel group, but it's just it's totally not you, because you're everything, right? I usually don't repeat myself like this, but this is just hard for people to crack open. So not accepting this and living all of your life trying to change is going to make you unhappy. You can be absolutely certain of this, because looking for change means that you do not accept who you are. Because if there's somebody out there, and this is what all relationships are essentially based on, you show something, and somebody out there is looking for this something, and then you both show this one thing, whereas when they start hitting you or something, you don't like what they show. So you go away and you're not together with them anymore, even though you are the same. You're absolutely capable of it, and we are all, as human animals, like that. Which is why a lot of times when there's abuse in relationships, they actually stay together, because when there's real love, and that's a connection of the souls, then that kind of superficial stuff doesn't matter. So essentially, if you hate people who are a certain way, then you are what you hate. Yeah. really. All right. What this means is that you cannot better yourself, because people always talk about bettering themselves and being better because somebody told me so, blah, blah, blah. So I will better myself, meaning that you will show something else, because people do not change, they change what they show. And then they may like me, and that's fantastic, right? No, it's an absolute trap into being miserable, and I certainly don't care what some superficial people think about me. I don't. So, what I actually want to talk about, this is what nobody talks about at all. Never heard anybody talk about this. It's about the main reason why there's religion and the main brainwash of religions. What is it? Yes, sure, the churches may tax you and stuff and all that. That's nothing. The main thing why all of these exist, so to speak, even though, do they exist? Well, that's another topic, but these rules I'm talking about that people have made up, they are to denature us from our human animal. So we've been tamed, we've been cultivated like those toxic plants to be something completely else. We are this animal, this carnivore, but we've been put on a leash, you see? You see what I'm saying? That's normal, that's normal, that's natural. Because the human animal is rather wild in reality, but you do not see that nowadays, whether it's men or women. Yeah, sure, women have less testosterone, so, but if you pinch a woman nowadays, she's gonna cry or something. Sure, not all of them, but it is so. And men, these skeleton-like beings, pale, walking around, don't even get me started. I see this every day, and no, I'm not advocating being muscular or something. It's not about it, it's about the behavior. I'm talking about the behavior. So, seeing as I've been talking a lot about diets, the thing here is that people who stop eating meat and go vegetarian because they don't want to hurt the animals. What? What? People would kill you for saying that some 100 years ago. The stuff that is going on nowadays, this brainwash it's incredible. It's incredible. So I want to quote what Gandhi said, if you care about him. I don't care about him, but this is an example of a modern spiritual guy going, before he died, against what he was saying, because he learned the truth. No wonder that mortality figures are on the increase and there is a lack of energy in the people. It would appear as if man is really unable to sustain life without either meat or milk products. Anybody who deceives people in this regard or supports this fraud is an enemy of India. Or the world, I would say, really, because that's actually what very recently people have been starting to teach. But when you look at it, Gandhi, he stopped eating meat, he got impotent, and then he started promoting celibacy, because these people who go impotent and lose their sexual power because their body is being malnourished, they start advocating these things because they're trying to keep the energy inside of them. Even though there's no need, you're really just destroying your body, but you want to go this way, all right, whatever, that's your thing. But this is just an example, and many people are like this, and they somehow, because they get delusional, probably because their brains are malnourished from not having animal fat, they get mentally ill and actually have these delusions that what they're doing is something spiritual. It's not. It's not. So These people have been pussified, and people such as vegetarians who say do not hurt animals are absolutely unnatural in every way, and that goes against human nature in every way. And you hear people a lot talk about being more human. Oh, that's so inhuman. Let's be more human. They don't even understand what they're talking about. They're not human themselves. They're not portraying a human, is what I mean. So, not killing animals is inhuman. You heard me right. Not killing animals. That's inhuman. Think about that.